Hello, and today I will be talking about the topic that I have chosen, which is option 2, saving natural resources. So I will be talking about the questions that I have answered. I'll be talking about the questions that I've answered. I'll be explaining how I answered them, and also I'll be talking about how we can conserve energy at home. So how we can conserve energy, which is what I'll be explaining in this video. So the first question is, write some of the key scientific write some of the key scientific questions and answer them. So my first question is, will there be enough drinkable water in the future? So as you can see, many people are wasting water. For example, there's so many examples of people wasting water. For example, like I'm turning the tap on, I'm not turning it off, and the lights. If you're in a room and then you leave the room, you should at least turn the lights off if you don't need it. So a lot of ways. So that is one way that we are wasting water. So there will be not enough drinkable water in the future. And the answer I did was, in our current rate of water consumption, there will not be enough water. Alright, the next question is, will there be enough fossil fuels for us to make energy? And then I answered, if we continue the consumption rate of 2009, then it will not last for long. So at 2009 there was a lot of consumption of fossil fuels, and if we use that rate and if we still use it today, then it won't last for long. Alright, the next question is, continuing with the above questions, will there be enough non-renewable resources in the future? So I answered by, if we can conserve our resources properly, then we will have enough in the future. Alright, next question is there a way to save our resources? Then I said yes, if we can conserve our resources and use them properly. Alright, the next question is, how and which scientists are researching on this issue? I answered, biologists, environmentalists, and the local people started to realize the shortening of natural resources. Especially environmentalists are concerned about the issue and are officially researching about this matter. So environmentalists and biologists, they research about the environment, so basically they're researching about this topic. Alright, next question. Draw a label sketch about the issue and solution. Let me quickly get this. Alright, so this is the sketch. And this is the sketch I did, and this isn't in this document. I'll be giving it in a separate document. I'll be posting it on Edmodo or giving it to you with the USB. So for the next question, draw a label sketch about the issue and solution. So I wrote about the issue, which we already know. Now solution, things that we can do at home ourselves. So there's one machine which is called the Blue Gen fuel cell units for our houses. So it's kind of like a little fridge, and we put it in our houses. So units for houses are about the size of a dishwasher. They significantly reduce greenhouse gases and are a great way to reserve electricity. So that is the Blue Gen. The second one is recycled water tanks. So if we need to wash our cars or outside our house, gardening and other important uses, recycling water tanks are useful and very important. It saves a great amount of water and it supports our environment and reserving water. So as you know, recycling water tanks, they're pretty big. You can put it next to your house, and for example, recycled water or dirty water we don't need, we can use that for gardening or washing our cars and all that. So it's a very great way. And the next one is overall using less of our home resources, and this one For example, we should not run the tap while brushing our teeth or leaving the lights in the rooms unattended. So I already talked about that. Alright, the next question is, how do these issues impact you and your future generations? I wrote, if we fail and are not able to conserve and use our natural resources carefully, then there will be a great scarce, I don't know how you say it, scarce of resources in the future. Alright, the next question is, how can our actions change the situation? The least we can do to help this matter is to do what is in our reach. For example, not wasting water, turning off lights when not needed, turning off switches when not needed, not throwing rubbish on the ground. So like simple things like these are greatly benefiting our environment if we can do it. For example, like as you already saw, as I already read it, for example, not littering, wasting water, electricity and everything like that. Alright, now the next question is, how should we act to make the situation better? I answered linking with the previous question, so this does link with the previous question. We should be more conservative in our homes. Also, we need to speak up about this topic. We need to speak up to the government. If we are not able to help ourselves, then no one else can help us. So this means, for example, there's some people who know that there's water wastage happening, we're wasting electricity, and all of these issues. Everyone, a lot of people knows about it, but they don't speak up. They just be quiet and they just live their own lives, which they shouldn't do. They should speak up to the government at least, so they can change what's going on. And yeah, so that's one thing we can do ourselves. This can change our situation in a great way. So now reflection questions. So these are the reflection questions. What was your key learning through this project? I learned about how scarce our natural resources are and the many ways we can help conserve the resources. Our next question, what are the limitations of your research? One limitations I put for myself is not to use internet for research and information. So I didn't use iPad, laptop or any electronic devices involving internet. I didn't research that. I just only used the science textbook and my brain. Alright. Next question, how can you improve it next time? So I answered to start my assignment earlier and not leaving it at the last moment. So I normally so today's Saturday right now, Sunday and then Monday, that's when school starts. Today it's right now, it's like 1:20 I think, and then I started this like around 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. So I shouldn't leave it at the last moment. I should start from the first day of the holiday weeks and slowly progress. But so that's one of my mistakes. I can improve it next time. Alright, so the next question is application. Where can this research knowledge be used? This can be used in our daily life and use, so we can live the most sustainable and conservative lives. So the thing I researched today is we can use it in our daily lives, as I explained in the previous questions and statements. So for example, not wasting water tanks, and then blue gen. So using all of these for our benefit, for us and our environment, and we can reduce this catastrophe. Alright. Now references. I wrote science textbook and my brain. Alright. That's it. And another thing I did not mention here is this is what we are doing. We should do is saving our water, electricity. Now what is the government doing themselves? So one thing the government doing is wind power. They're using wind power, solar power, and then hydroelectric power, tidal and wave power, and geothermal energy. And yeah, that's it. So the government is trying to use those ways. Not only the government, but the whole world is using these ways. And then this can help us to conserve our natural resources. For example, fossil fuels and everything like that. For example, natural resources which are non-renewable. In the future we can't get them, so if we use them once, it's gone forever. So fossil fuels are one of them, so we should use fossil fuels in a very careful way. And then there's, I think, uranium. Yeah, so a lot of people, I can remember that France, 90% of the energy is from uranium, which is the most in the whole world, the percentage. So that's why we should be careful of what we're using, and we should be smart about how we're using our things. Alright, this is